Oh my goodness, there it is right there. The Red Ryder Daisy 650 shot carbon rifle gun. And if you buy it, don't shoot your eye out. 80 bucks. It can be yours. $79.99. I don't know if they're real or not. I guess they're real. I don't know what the regulations on that would be, but there's Ralphie. A holy grail of Christmas gifts. Oh, this is awesome. Fragile. It must be Italian. They have the bunny suit, which I am tempted to buy. And of course, the movie is playing on the TVs here 24 hours a day. They have soap here as well. They got a life-size Randy cutout. Life-size Randy cutout. Some different various items. And they have, what in the God's name is this? The Pink Nightmare. That is appropriate. I don't know if this is... That doesn't look like Ralphie. I don't know what this is supposed to be. This is moderately terrifying. I don't have a dollar bill, otherwise I would try it out. Looks like you can get a pressed coin now. They got the Bumpus house, a Christmas Story house, a couple different variations of coins you can get. And then over here, they have some Elf merchandise. That's interesting. And they have Elf playing on the TV. That's an interesting connection. I mean, that makes sense, obviously, but that's unique. And they have a bunch of mugs. And oh, look at this. A Christmas Vacation, my all-time favorite Christmas movie. I love that. And they have the house up here for sale, too. That is awesome. Obviously, I'm sure all of you have seen the Christmas Story movie. They even have Christmas Clark Griswold pop figures, which I may have to buy. Little full, a lot of sap. Okay, this is pretty awesome too. I've never seen these ones before. They even have Marv and Harry from Home Alone, the Wet Bandits. Probably my second favorite movie, and if you look at it here, it's even got the top of his head burned out like in the movie. That is awesome. Hi everyone, Anthony here with Ace's Adventures, and happy holidays to you all. Welcome to my special little presentation project, Dead Mall kind of mixture episode here. We are at the Christmas Story House in Cleveland, Ohio, and we are also going to be taking a look at a not necessarily dead mall, but a mall that is struggling and is a very unique mall and kind of ties everything together. I wanted to refilm this Christmas Story house. I did it like 4 years ago when I first started out with the channel, and was really weak in my editing and stuff like that, and didn't really get any of the footage of the inside of the house. And plus it's the holidays, and this is just a place that I like to visit. It's such a cool thing to see. And so for the next 4 or 5 minutes here, before we get into the next part of the video, just going to chat with you about my experience at this house, what to expect, and if you yourself want to come visit this place, just some notes about the film and the overall experience. So I hope you all are having a wonderful holiday season. We are almost at 2020, believe it or not. Crazy. I myself am approaching 37 in just a few months. I cannot believe that I'm going to be 37 years old. But anyways, as I digress. So you're seeing some inside footage here that I shot a few weeks ago. I went out to Cleveland and checked out the Christmas Story house again. And I don't know if they had a policy change or whatnot, because the first time that I was in here, they had mentioned something about not being able to film, but I think they have kind of given up on that because maybe they realize it's good self-promotion, so I was able to film the whole entire house. You're seeing here some props from the kitchen area. So just want to mention a couple quick things about the movie. So the movie takes place in the fictional town of Holman, Indiana, but they use Cleveland as the backdrop for the movie. And when they were filming the movie, Cleveland was not very cooperative in terms of snow, so they actually had to use potato flakes for a lot of the snow in the take. So good old Hollywood movie magic. And the owner of the house initially would not give them permission to film inside of the house. They had to do some coaxing to get him to actually allow them to do that, but obviously they did, and here we have the house that is now owned by a gentleman who has successfully set up the gift shop, which you just saw, which is amazing, and is part of the overall experience. So the majority of this movie was filmed in Toronto, actually, on a big sound set, and not much is left anymore, all these years later, of course. And the school scene actually is filmed in Ontario, and the school, the Victoria School, I believe it's called, is now a shelter for women. And there's a movie or a special on Netflix called Amazon Prime, I'm sorry, called Road Trip for Ralphie, and I highly, highly suggest that you go on Amazon Prime and check out that special. They see a lot of things, and they filmed it, I think, just a little over 10 years ago. They even tracked down the costume shop and find some of the original costumes that were loaned out for the film, and thankfully the owner of the Christmas Story house has since purchased them, and they are in the museum, as you'll see tidbits of here in just a minute. So briefly, a decent part of the movie takes place at the Higbee's location in downtown Cleveland, used as Indiana in the Mall, and was just an awesome thing to see in person. And obviously Higbee's is long gone now, but there still are some remnants of what it used to look like. Higbee's I think it was later transformed into a Dillard's years later, and is part of the Tower City Center Mall. And the mall is not necessarily dead. It is more so of a transportation space that has some retail and food options. But as you're going to see here, it does have some classic dead mall and vintage aesthetics that really go along well with what I normally would do on the channel. So we'll be getting into that in just a minute. The food court is extremely vintage, and there's a movie theater there, and just an overall excellent atmosphere, some transportation hubs and whatnot, and some hotels and stuff that are all around it. But definitely a cool place to see, and if you are in the Cleveland area, I recommend you stop and check out both of these locations in the Cleveland area. So what's going to happen now is we're going to transition into talking about the Higbees and showing you the mall a little bit, and I'm looking forward to talking to you guys about that. So I'll be back with you guys in just a few minutes.
Don't touch.
Don't touch it.
Come on. Let's go in the underground now.
Put your fingers on the case.
Hello, Willoughby, and all of Northern Ohio. What news we have for you? Santa Claus is coming to town. What we're showing you is a live shot of the biggest Christmas movie set ever staged in Ohio, Public Square, downtown Cleveland. The calendar may say this is January 19th, but in movie land, this is still pre-Christmas December. Staff reporter and would-be movie critic Paul Orlowski is somewhere down on that massive movie set right now. Paul, tell us about all this peculiar activity we're looking at.
Well, I've got a great view, Ted. I'm on top of our truck looking at all of this. It looks really nice. They've got diagonal parking just like the 40s and all of that. Public Square in general, and Higbee's in particular, is the scene of a movie. It's called The Christmas Story. It's a story of a little boy back in the 1940s, and a lot of work has gone into making Public Square look like it might have looked back then.
Hey everybody, we are back now inside of the mall slash Tower City Center complex, and I'm just going to rattle off some notes here from the Wikipedia page in reference to the property that we are seeing now. And this is not technically a dead mall. It's really in all likelihood it's not. But given the tie-ins to the Higbee's location that was tied to A Christmas Story and the vintage aesthetics that I mentioned earlier that it has, and some of the elements that a dead mall would have in some respects, I thought that it was an appropriate tie-in. Not to mention this is an absolutely gorgeous building. That if you are ever in the Cleveland area, I highly recommend checking it out. And you can see there, as we're passing there are still some remnants in retrospect to the Higbee building itself. So the Tower City Center actually was originally known as the Cleveland Union. Let's try it again, shall we? The Cleveland Union Terminal, and it's a large mixed-use facility located on Public Square in downtown Cleveland. Of course, the facility is composed of a number of interconnected office buildings, including the landmark Terminal Tower, the Avenue Shopping Mall, a casino, the Jack's Casino, 2 hotels, and the main hub of Cleveland's 4 rapid transit lines. And one of the most awesome things about this article here, it says that on March 17th, 1976, the tower was added to the National Register of Historic Places. So not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. And although, as I had mentioned, it does have some elements that you'll see sprinkled throughout that would reminisce of a dead mall, this is an active, relatively thriving location due to its location with the various pathways and stuff and services that it helps with for the city. So hope you enjoy the rest of the video here. I'm going to sprinkle in some more holiday music. Hope you all are enjoying your holiday season and have a wonderful Merry Christmas and Happy New Year with your families. Look forward to big things in 2020 for Ace's Adventures. I've got some ambitious plans to try and keep going. Even though I hate ragging about it, I just want to mention one last time for the year. If you are not already, please consider becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/acesadventures. 100% of those proceeds do go into these adventures that I take, so please consider doing that. Even $1 a month helps. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter, and as always, at Ace's Adventures 1, and also check out some of the other wonderful explorers in our community that are on the Dead Malls of Discord. Thank you so much for all of your support in 2019 as we strive towards 30,000 subscribers and beyond. Once again, have a wonderful, happy holiday season from my family to yours. This is Anthony with Ace's Adventures. We'll talk to you guys in 2020.